Hi, my name is Ulrich Teuffel. I'm a German luthier, and I would like to welcome you to the world of my guitars. We are here at the Holy Grail Guitar Show in Berlin in 2018. My guitars are represented by the North American guitars in the UK only. So I don't know if you have heard about my instruments. If you are into North American guitars, you might know much more about these instruments. This guitar that I have here is the Niwa. It's a model that is executed in the Prodigy version. That means the wooden parts are made from Siricote. There's a very nice aluminium inlay inside, and the aluminium leaves, they reflect the timber which the guitar is made of. It's the red alder. So these leaves are are reflecting the red alder, where the body of this guitar is made from the typical Stratocaster timber, as well as the neck. So why did I do that with the neck? The neck is a very crucial part in the tone design. And what happens when you play a neck from red alder, it immediately achieves that kind of throaty tone that you expect from a Stratocaster, this Hendrixness, I would say, when the voice of the guitar gets a kind of animalish. So what happens to alder is it takes less power or less force to get alder down to her knees if you compare it to maple. So this guitar gets this kind of typical natural flamenco compression when you start to play it, especially on the lower strings. So this is the reason why I use the red alder on that model, because I regard this guitar as a kind of a modern reenactment of a Stratocaster. So the guitar has 3 pickups. One is a humbucker, 2 are split coils, which means each 3 strings have their own bobbin. And the controls work with a bypass that always switches between the bridge pickup and the 5-way selector here. The guitar has a vibrato which is open. There is no backplate because I want you to look into the inner life of the guitar. I have nothing to hide. Okay, so let's go to the other guitar, which is my Antonio model. Right now there should be one of the Antonio models in a very dark burst at North American guitars. This is my color, the light gray, which is a very unusual color on a guitar. The Antonio models reflect or express my perception on a kind of vintage guitar reenactment. So what I did when I started with the Antonio guitar was I had the idea, or I felt the will to do a kind of vintage guitar. But I realized when I started to design on that guitar that I got stuck in the process of the 50s, 60s guitar, and it will always end up at a kind of surf instrument, and that would not be appropriate to my oeuvre. So under the shower I had the idea I have to go 1 century back even more. So I ended up at Antonio de Torres, and this is where the name refers to. Antonio de Torres, who was the inventor or endorser, I would rather say, of the classical guitar. So this guitar just quotes the shape of a classical guitar, but it is a pure electric guitar. So you have a neck pickup, which is a humbucker that you can split, and there is a bridge which has no piezo. So the bridge quotes the classical guitar bridge, but it is not an acoustic guitar. The guitar has sound chambers here in the lower body band, and it has a twang chamber here, which is quoting the 5 braces of the Torres model. So the timber of this guitar is again very puristic. It's Sweetenia mahogany and Siricote. So all the assembly parts or the additional parts are made from Siricote. Some are covered. So this bridge is a wraparound bridge that I designed. It has an aluminum core inside, but it's covered with Siricote. So as well as the jack plate, it's not only Siricote, it's aluminum covered with Siricote to provide enough rigidity if you stand on the cable. The truss rod has and truss rod insert, which is made from carbon fiber, so it's a kind of reinforcement of the neck. It goes towards the second fret, but it's also the guide for the Allen wrench. The machines are made from Goto. It's a set of very precise, very light tuners. It's the Goto stealth models. So this guitar is whatever it will become in your hands. So I would not say this is a rock guitar, it's a blues guitar, it's a jazz guitar. It's something, it's my inspiration of a reenactment of a Torres model in a contemporary, so the attempt, in a contemporary way, the attempt was always, the goal is to make an electric guitar and not an acoustic guitar. So it will, if you play this guitar, that will, it will bring you into a world of playing that you might not achieve with playing a Stratocaster or a Telecaster or an SG, because you are not pre-conditioned on this instrument. So if you start to play, it will immediately tell you what to play with it. So it's not, usually when I play a Steinberger guitar, I play particular stuff with it. When I play a Stratocaster, I always go towards Hendrix or Mark Knopfler. When you play a Les Paul, you go towards Slush or towards Eric Clapton. So this is an unsettled or an undefined guitar, and it will lead you wherever we see.